Irish Guy, and welcome back to the Prem Catch-Up. Let's take a look at the utter insanity that happened in the Premier League this weekend. And for those who are wondering, yes, I had the craziest guest so far in my Premier League prediction series. He was the Bronco from America. He was absolutely class, just bags of energy. It was like doing a video with a kitten. And he did give me the scariest forfeit of all. But the good news is, he's not winning. Yeah, I know there is a game tonight still to be played and the Merseyside derby in the future, which will count towards his point score, sure. But at the moment, I've got 46 points. He's got 42. Yeah, he's not catching Anfield again at the top. Right, let's go. Man United 2, Nottingham Forest 3. Old Trafford is supposed to be a fortress, right? A scary beast of a ground that strikes pure, unadulterated fear into every opposition player when they stand in the tunnel, right? Wrong. This place now is about as intimidating as any episode of Sesame Street, and that is truly tragic to see. Back in the days as Sir Alex Ferguson, teams did not regularly win here, and if you were lucky enough to catch Manchester United on an off day and snatch an Old Trafford win, oh, you wouldn't be doing that again for a while. I mean, to prove it, when Fergie retired in May 2013, look at the 19 other Premier League sides from that season. This is how many years it had been since they left Old Trafford with a win. Arsenal, 7 years. Aston Villa, 4 years. Chelsea, 3 weeks. Everton, 21 years. Fulham, 10 years. Liverpool, 4 years. Man City, 1 month. Newcastle, 31 years. Norwich City, 24 years. QPR, 21 years. Reading, never. Southampton, 25 years. Swansea, never. West Brom, 35 years. West Ham, 6 years. Wigan, never. Yeah, not only have most of those clubs won at Old Trafford since then, but compare that with every current Premier League side. When was their last win at Manchester United? Arsenal, 2024. Aston Villa, 2021. Bournemouth, 2023. Brentford, 1937. Okay, to be fair, well done, you haven't lost to the Bees in decades. But come on, it is only a matter of time. I mean, you've had to battle back from a goal down in your last 2 Old Trafford matches against Brentford. Then Brighton, 2023. Chelsea, surprisingly, 2013. Crystal Palace, 2023. Everton, 2013. Fulham, 2024. Ipswich, okay, 1984. But then Leicester, 2021, Liverpool 2024, Man City 2023, Newcastle 2023, Nottingham Forest 2024, Southampton 2016, Tottenham 2024, West Ham 2021, and Wolves 2022. Every current Premier League side, bar Brentford and Ipswich, have won here since 2013. I mean, come on, Forest just won here for the first time in 30 years. But this isn't surprising anymore. How many times have we heard on the news that the team has just registered their first win at Manchester United in decades? I mean, lads, there's several teams in the Championship who've recently won away to Manchester United. Sheffield United, Burnley, Sunderland, West Brom, Norwich, Swansea, Derby County, and Cardiff inside the last 10 years. Old Trafford is not this intimidating fortress anymore. It's a place where anyone can win, and I mean anyone. Look, this was brilliant work from Forest, but it was yet another absolute Andre Onana horror show. Yeah, I'm confused too. I thought those days were a thing of the past, but no, here he was letting Morgan Gibbs White score after the English midfielder struck a football straight at him. I don't care that the wind inched it a little to the left. The Cameroonian, someone who's already proclaimed himself to be one of the greatest goalkeepers on planet Earth, he stupidly shifted all his body weight to the right, and so yeah, the ball manages to fly past him in the net. It was truly garbage goalkeeping. And yeah, Chris Wood scored on his birthday to make it 3-1, but Forest just wanted it more than Man United. This club is an absolute mess. I mean, at the start of 2024, they were stealing Newcastle's highly rated sporting director Dan Ashworth. They paid millions to nick him. Sir Jim Ratcliffe was calling him the best in class. And yeah, 5 months into his job, and he's gone. And apparently it's because of disagreements everywhere. Apparently Ashworth was not happy that they hired Ruben Amorim. He wanted Southgate instead. Seriously, this man is seen as one of the best and most brilliant technical directors in the world, and yet his genius master plan for reviving Manchester United was to ring up his old mate, somebody who looks like a donkey in the back of a spoon, someone with the charisma of a bowl of squash shepherd's pie. No wonder this man has been binned before Christmas. Apparently Ashford was so miffed by the Amorim appointment that he actually went on holiday the day after the new manager officially started his job. Yeah, Amorim is going around the complex, shaking hands with everyone, trying to even learn the tea lady's name. But yeah, and you know that sporting director you're supposed to be dealing with? Yeah, sorry about this, Ruben, but he's actually decided to go and chill on the beach in Tenerife. It's all very weird. Ashworth has just lopeteguied his career. Remember when he gave up a very good Spain job and a chance of managing at a World Cup to go for the more glamorous Real Madrid? 5 months later, and he didn't have a job at all. That's Ashworth. And by the way, Sporting Lisbon are falling apart without Amorim as well. Yeah, 11 straight wins with Amorim at the wheel. He then leaves, and they lose both league matches against Santa Clara and Morinense and get flattened 5-1 by Arsenal in the Champions League. Don't get it twisted, Amorim will be fuming to see his good work going up in flames. He wanted to see out this season in Portugal and lift a third league title with Sporting, which would only add to his legacy. But no, now that they're in the hands of the ridiculously underqualified João Pedro, then yeah, I don't care that they're still top. They have about as much chance of winning the Primeira Liga as I do of turning into a squirrel. But yeah, it's not going to happen. So this whole Amorim appointment so far, it's been painful for everyone. This whole thing is a mess for everyone. Ipswich 1, Bournemouth 2. Play the clip.
You know what? I think this will be a Bournemouth win, obviously. 2-1. A goal for Ipswich via Connor Chaplin. I'm not sure why, but yeah, him.
I'm sorry. Did I actually correctly predict Connor Chaplin to score the first Premier League goal of his life? I've never ever predicted this man to score before, ever. So for me to now finally plump for this former Portsmouth man on Friday afternoon, I have no earthly idea why. I can only surmise that I was touched by some sort of footballing overlord, and not in an Uncle Tim way. How did I know that Chaplin would score in a 2-1 defeat? Honestly, lads, even I'm a little creeped out by this one, because yeah, he's been a lower league goal machine for this club, sure, but in the Premier League, he's looked about as dangerous as burnt apple pie, and yet here he was taking him to score a goal against the most expensive goalkeeper to ever live. A multiple Champions League winner was played for Real Madrid. Honestly, lads, if you just focus on the Wikipedia facts, you really could gas up Kepa to make him sound like Buffon. Honestly, his grandkids are going to think he was one of the best goalkeepers of all time. But when he shows them his Wikipedia page, it'll probably just keep his thumb over the part where it says he was at Bournemouth on loan at 30. It'll be kind of a giveaway that actually, his career was a bigger letdown than that Jack Black Santa film. Yeah, don't watch it ever. The movie's biggest draw is Post Malone. I could have got sick in a sandwich. But I do feel a bit sorry for Ipswich too. Come on, those fans have been waiting over 20 years to see a Premier League win in this stadium. And yet not only did they not see out the 3 points, but they actually leave with 0. All these home fans want to see is a Premier League win in their own stadium. Is that too much to ask? Kieran McKenna, come on. I don't care that this is a lower league squad punching above their weight. I don't care. This is a stinky end to this fairy tale. After waiting over 20 years for Premier League football, if those fans are relegated without seeing a single home win, it will be the bleakest fairy tale in the world. It's a bit like if Snow White gets eaten by her own dwarves. Yeah, don't trust Dopey. He looks like he belongs on a register. But as for Bournemouth, wow. Lads, can we just remember now that Gary O'Neill currently sits second bottom of the league, and he's probably getting sacked tonight, while his Cherry's replacement, the much maligned Andoni Iraola, who everyone thought was some Spanish home wrecker. Yeah, to break it to you lads, but he's 3 points of Manchester City in December. Just 1 win behind what is supposed to be the greatest manager of all time. I said that this man would eventually qualify Bournemouth for European football. But lads, forget about the Europa Conference League. No. We're 2 weeks before Christmas, and this man has Bournemouth just 7 points off second. There is a bigger gap between Man City and first than there is Bournemouth and second. Who would have possibly predicted that in August? I mean, if you had dared to utter those words, you would sound like some weird freak who eats hamsters. But I will say that I've always maintained that Iraola is a future world-class manager. And lads, if Bournemouth beat West Ham in their next match and then get another win at Old Trafford like they did last season, they could spend Christmas Day sitting pretty in the Champions League spots. Amazing. Now you admit that Iraola is class? Leicester 2, Brighton 2. Why? Why does he keep doing this? Not again, Vardy! It's so cold! Jamie Vardy, you turned 38 in a month. 38 years of age. How do you know 6 goals in 14 Premier League matches? You should be a burnt out goose, because I know you don't live by a Ronaldo-esque strict diet. You look like you live off Maltesers and milk. As we speak, you're probably onto your 4th Monster energy drink of the day. How are you still banging them in now at your age? How have you managed to already double your last Premier League season's tally weeks before Christmas? I realize you're being coached by one of the greatest poachers to ever live, but even Ruben Nistelrooy, he was retired at 35 after finishing up with a pretty meek 4-goal season with Malaga. And Van Nistelrooy was an unbelievable player. So for you to be outshining a version of him that was 3-4 years younger than you are now, I'm actually at a loss. I am so confused. How is it nearly a decade after Leicester City's title win, and he is still scoring in back-to-back matches and chalking up a clever last-minute assist as well? How is he doing this? I'm so confused how this is possible. You should be a finished, burnt-out cookie by now, plumped on Sheffield Wednesday's bench, lower in the pecking order than Dean Windas's son. I thought that was in this old man's future. But no, you're instead forcing me to smell like a Bridget Jones burp. Crystal Palace 2, Man City 2. Oh, lads, I'm so relieved because play the clip.
The score gonna be 3-1. Haaland with the hat trick. And then for Crystal Palace,
Mark Gay go score like off a header or something. You feel me? That's kind of what I'm feeling. Throw it out in the universe. Maybe it's go stick.
Lad, if Mark Gahey does score against Man City, then I will eat Nutella off an old man's head.
Why was I so confident? This was reckless. You know how close I was to having to literally hunt down an old man and eat chocolate off his head, which would be the creepiest thing I've ever done in my life. Ever. I was so confident the Crystal Palace centre half would not score from a corner, and yet one of them did. It's just it was Maxence Lacroix and not Margay. Honestly, lads, this one was so close. But as for City, they're in the mud. Why are Palace such a bogey team for them? Come on, lads, this was the third time in Palace's last 4 matches against Man City where the Eagles have netted 2 goals in the game. This was the 5th time in the last 7 meetings between Crystal Palace and Man City where Palace has scored 2. This was the 7th time that Crystal Palace have stuck 2 goals past Pep's Man City in the same match. They have now taken 11 points from Pep's Man City, which is actually astonishing beyond belief. They are such a bogey team for Pep. Honestly, when he's retired, he's going to be sitting in the nursing home, close to a stroke. Whenever he hears people talking about any sort of palace, honestly, whenever his grandkids whack on a Disney film about any sort of princess sleeping in a palace, he's going to be on the verge of drowning himself in the sink. Out of all the bottom half teams he's faced in his life, Crystal Palace have been the single biggest headache for the man. Maybe that's why he was so hurt by the referee sending off Rico Lewis, because Lewis has been the only one consistently fighting back against Palace. He scores against them every time he plays them. He is the one single-handedly trying to fight back against the Palace curse. He is a bogey player for Man City's bogey team. It's like bogey inception. So yeah, to see him sent off for what was a non-existent foul, to see his knight in shining armor sent for an early shower. Pep must have instantly felt bleaker than the Grinch. Brentford 4, Newcastle 2. Brentford are freaks at home. I'm sorry, but how? How does a ridiculously mid-table side lose their star striker Ivan Toney in the summer? Someone who's gone on to command so much money, probably not rich enough to become Emperor of Lithuania if he wants. I mean, this team's record at the G-Tech Stadium, something which sounds like a museum for nerds, it is stupidly monstrous. But simultaneously, for Thomas Frank's boys to be so horrifically poor on the road, that is also weird, and it's ruining their season. Even he doesn't know why their away form is so bad. People are applauding them for being goal-scoring entertainers at home. Well, nah, someone should also whack this man in the face with a banana, because their sloppy away form is costing them a superstar season. Honestly, their home form will lead you to believe they're in contention to qualify for the Champions League. But no, because all the players clearly get drunk on the coach for every away match, and they're not even in contention for Europe. So look, yes, this is yet another unbelievable goal-scoring performance in the wind. But I am sorry, Newcastle United, that defending was stupid. To be letting Irish monster centre-back Nathan Collins latch onto a direct free kick from the goalkeeper to score, that was absolutely shameful. Look, we all know that Howe looks like a lovable little chipmunk, the most adorable manager in the Premier League, right? Just because he looks like your chubby nephew, you know, the one who eats 15 cookies whilst watching Elf, you just want to pinch Eddie's cheeks and give him a mini Toblerone. But we've also heard that he's not just the player's mate, and that he can absolutely lose it in the dressing room too. And I promise you, after that awful defensive shambles, he will have delivered the angriest post-match team talk he'll have ever given at Newcastle so far, because to have conceded 7 goals in 4 days, that is laughable. Tottenham 3, Chelsea 4. Marco Corella needs new shoes. Honestly, burn them football boots in a bin. Throw them off a cliff. Smash them with an anvil. Feed them to Mickey Mouse, because honestly, in that first half, the Spanish left back was slipping and sliding more than your fat aunt on an ice skating rink. To give up 2 goals to Tottenham in the first 10 minutes, and yet still be able to laugh about it after the match. Oh, you just know this was an absolutely insane game. And it was, with Chelsea choosing to run riot. Jadon Sancho gets them back into it with an expert strike. And then it's his dribbling magic and clever pass, which eventually wins them an equalising penalty. And honestly, lads, Sancho, when he's in this sort of form, is such a magnificent footballer. And he needs to be back on the England squad. Like, if his England career really is just relegated to just 3 years, between 2018 and 2021, if his only memorable moment in an England top is him missing a penalty in a European Championship shootout, then that is tragic. This fella cannot just be the modern day Darius Vassell. No, Sancho absolutely needs to be in Thomas Tuchel's squads, because there is a reason he was the most coveted winger in the world once. And the fact that Chelsea managed to bag him on loan, literally just borrowing a potentially world-class footballer, it's incredible. And look, Cole Palmer buries 2 penalties, including a ridiculously cheeky Panenka. This was a brilliant Chelsea win, but that's for Spurs. Oh dear. I've seen Tottenham managers get the sack for less, and I do think that historic 3 bonkers 4-0 win at Man City just a month ago, that is all that's keeping Ange in a job, because honestly, if they had lost that match at the Etihad, I think Postecoglou would be gone. Fulham 1, Arsenal 1. Oh lads, this is almost the perfect prediction. Play the clip.
So I'm gonna go 1-0 Raul Jimenez. And you might think this is a stunningly crazy prediction, but I'm telling you, this is a match where the Gunners trip up.
Oh, It began so swimmingly because Raul Jimenez belted an early goal to give Fulham a 1-0 lead. By now, Arsenal come back and eventually snatch a draw through a William Saliba goal off a corner. But the Gunners aren't winning this league. Nah, this is going to be the same title challenge as the last 2 title challenges. The bubble quote title challenge. In that technically on paper, sure, it's technically a title challenge, but no one really believes they're going to win. You need to be a winning machine superpower to win the Premier League these days. But make no mistake about it, I mean, 10 years ago, this would have been a quality result. Getting draws away to good mid-table clubs, that should be fine for potential title winners. That should be seen as quality work. I mean, lads, the greatest Arsenal side of all time, that invincible team. Last season, they picked up draws away to Charlton Athletic, Leicester City, Bolton Wanderers, Everton, Newcastle, Tottenham, and Portsmouth. They were all seen as good results back in 2004. But nowadays, they'd be treated like mini disasters, with the travelling fans ready to storm outside the ground to spit fury into the AFTV mic. Standards have increased to such a crazy level, and even a 1-1 draw at Fulham, something which should be seen as good. That's just another nail in the coffin for the title bid. I mean, there should be nothing wrong with this result at all. Poor Arsenal. Aston Villa 1, Southampton 0. Boring. But yeah, John Duran once again proving why he deserves far more than sitting on the bench. Anyway, that is the end of the video. But lads, before I go, I just want to say, speedy recovery to Mikel Antonio. When I heard about that accident of the weekend, I was pretty horrified, especially when I saw the photo. So I don't want to speculate, but maybe it is the end of his career. If so, you've had a brilliant career, Mikel, honestly. And you know what? I think your post-game career is going to be even better because you've got the same infectious energy as Michael Richards. So honestly, the future's bright, Mikel. You'll never see this, but speedy recovery. And honestly, lads, I'm just incredibly relieved that this is not one of the bleakest chapters in Premier League history, like the Leicester City one in 2018. Honestly, that was so scarring for everyone involved. So yeah, genuinely, I'm just so relieved that Antonio is going to be okay. Anyway, that is the end of the video. Sorry to end on such a dark note, but yeah, I had to be said. Anyway, that is the end of the video. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as always. I'll talk to you in a while.